What's up, Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader here with a very familiar phenomenon in penny stocks. And we have this new studio. I'd like to show you these charts. Keep leaving feedback with the studio. We're always looking to improve, whether it's the sound or the visuals. We can change this up. But I like, this whole kind of like weatherman type format where I can really show and point to specific charts and points on the chart. So this is a run up on ALYI. This has been one of the biggest winners in the past, but it hasn't really put together a multi-day run up lately. So just because a stock is a former runner, 3-4 months ago or 2 months ago, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a multi-day runner again. Obviously it helps, but with ALYI, if you've been following them, they put out press release after press release, and they just kind of lost all credibility. But they were spiking right here into rumors of Tesla's battery day. They have their own electric vehicles. They're pumping out press releases, just trying to get any kind of people involved. I mean, the stock is trading at 1 or 2 cents. A lot of people are like, Tim, why are you talking about this? This company is so sketchy. All penny stocks are sketchy. Why do you think it's trading at 1 or 2 cents a share? But there's still upside potential. If you just trade the chart pattern, I've done very well on ALYI. I probably, if you add up all my profits on this, probably over $10,000, maybe even $15,000 in the past. I did not trade this, but we can still analyze this because far too often I see penny stocks, former supernovas, close strongly on rumors or even press releases, one-day runners, and then the next day, nothing. And you can see here, no, great reaction overnight. I think they even put out another press release. And it tanked. And I saw a lot of people trying to dip buy it here. And I'm like, whoa, when you dip buy penny stocks, ideally they're multi-day runners, multi-month runners. Yes, this is a former supernova, but if you look at it recently, I've even tried trading it recently, and it's usually failed on day one. So Mark Crook will warn a lot about this in the challenge chat room. I will include a link below if you want to join my challenge. It's me, Mark Crook, Michael Good, Tim Grattani, Jack Kellogg, Matt Monaco, John Papa, everyone's in the challenge chat room and giving commentary. And Mark Crook specifically warns against, trying to dip buy plays that are just up for one day. And I will tell you that too. Sometimes I might try to be a little aggressive if, the company has some really good news. But again, like I said, ALYI has lost all credibility just because they've released too much, kind of noise news that just trying to hype themselves up. They're not working with Tesla, by the way. They're just another electric vehicle maker trying to get a little bit of the Tesla magic with their stock price. That's all they're trying to do. But when it spikes up on rumors or even on a lot of press releases, you can't believe the press releases. You can't believe the rumors. You have to expect the worst out of all these companies. And then when it tanks on day two, it's dead to me. Do not dip buy a failed one-day spiker or a recent failed one-day spiker. You have to look at multiple chart patterns. It's not just enough that it's spiking. It's not just enough saying, look, this is spiked big in the past. When it fails like this on day two, this is not a dip buying opportunity. And I'm not just saying that because obviously the dip buy failed here. I pulled up this chart because I want you to understand that the majority of the time, this kind of chart is going to fail on day two. When you do want to dip buy, you want to dip buy a stock that has been up 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 days in a row. The more that it's been up, the more people have watched it. A lot of people sit on the sidelines. They don't want to chase, and they're waiting for that dip. Or if you're a short seller, you're shorting all the way up. I mean, with a 1 cent, 2 cent stock, no one's really shorting. But if it were a higher price stock, if you have a stock that's been running 3, 4, 5, 7 days, a lot of shorts are trapped. When you get a big panic the next day, in any one morning, maybe the shorts will lighten up their position. Maybe they'll cover all their position and they'll just be thankful that they covered into a panic, whether it's a gain or whether it's a loss for them. So you have short sellers looking to cover their shorts into a big panic on a multi-day runner. That creates buying opportunities because guess what? Shorts, when they cover their positions, is buying to cover. It acts like a buy. And you have people who missed out on the multi-day run-up looking to buy the dip. And so they will theoretically push the price up. Two groups of buyers into any dip or panic on a multi-day runner. Here, you have a few dip buyers, but anybody who dip bought, I wish I could DM them. I wish they had joined my challenge, and I saw on Twitter, they're all trying to say, oh, it's a former runner, it's gonna bounce. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is a terrible setup. That's why I wanted to do a video lesson. I do a lot of videos on what are good setups, what I trade. This is not a good setup. That's why I didn't trade it. I would warn against this. And I really want you to understand that. And it's not a big surprise that it failed. So if you are going to dip buy, focus on multi-day runners. I'm actually going to pull up a second chart here just to show you how this has acted over the past few days so you can see it's not a multi-day runner. Check this out. So here is another chart. This is a multi-day chart on ALYI. You can see it did nothing, it did nothing, it did nothing. This was the first big green day. And I wanted to make this video because I know that I talk about like the first big green day. I like buying that, but this is not a stock that matters with that pattern because even though it's a former supernova, it's been nothing for a while. They've issued too many press releases. They've shot themselves in the foot with a lack of credibility, and they're up trying just to, bask in the glow of Tesla. So it's not always just buying first green days. And even if you are long, guess what? You sell it right near the open when there's no follow-up news, when there's no follow-up spike. You can really protect yourself by expecting the worst of every company. And I know that makes me sound negative and cynical, but you gotta be. 90% plus of traders lose. So if I am buying a first green day OTC, the last time I bought this, they had upcoming news. I think it was like 3 days after, right? So it became an upcoming news play. So it was spiking like this the last time I bought it, but it was before they had shot themselves in the foot, lack of credibility, too many press releases, and they had an upcoming news catalyst. So this is what you also have to understand. Guess what? This is a little more complex than just memorizing patterns. There are multiple indicators. That's why I have the Sykes sliding scale. If you've seen my trader checklist guide, if you've read the complete penny stock course, I'm going to include links to both of those just below this. Watch my trader checklist guide. Read the complete penny stock course. Watch my new 30-day boot camp. And again, you don't have to watch it all in 30 days. You can spend 45 days, 60 days, 90 days. You watch it on your own time and it's yours forever. Spend 365 days. Watch it in slow-mo. Have me talk like this. Whatever works for you. Or you can speed it up and work like this. I know a lot of people like to speed up the YouTube videos because they want to value their time. Whatever works for you. And understand, I was just doing that with my own voice. That's not your YouTube controls. The point is that you're learning from every single one of these trades. And even if you were long on this first green day and not realizing that they, have done too many press releases and they don't really have that much credibility, you cut losses when it fails on day 2. If you ever see me on these first green day OTCs, sometimes I give them a few seconds, a few minutes of spiking, but I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that these things don't trade after hours, and if there is news, if there is an overnight catalyst that gets people to want to buy on day 2, I'm looking to sell into those latecomers on day 2. This one had a gap down. That is a terrible sign. Had I been long here, I would have sold it here for a small loss. I would not have dip bought, and I would not be holding now for a 22% loss the next day. You do not have to take big risks. You do not need high risk strategies. You do not need to take big losses. Obviously, some stuff, can happen. You might have 1 or 2 big losses. But if you go into these trades thinking this is a bad company, I'm going to play it overly safe, not getting greedy, not saying this is going, I saw some people saying like this is going to like 50 cents or $1, and it can't even get to 2 cents, right? Like you have to have the proper perspective. Ignore all these promoters who say going to the moon. Maybe back in, April, May, and June, that was working because the market had a big crash and we were due for a big bounce. But now I'm filming this, in September, we've already had the biggest run up over the past 100 days. So yes, you have to have a little perspective with what the market has done. When the stock market has the biggest 100 days ever, and we have election uncertainty and pandemic uncertainty, and frankly, this company, I lost track of how many press releases they put out. Probably like 50 in the past 50 days. It's just too much, okay? First green day plays really work when it's an undiscovered company with, something that's really never been talked about publicly. That's when a lot of people discover it. Everyone and their mother knows about ALYI if you trade low price stocks. You know that they just float like $100 million, $300 million. Like that's how much we're gonna do. And you just don't believe a word that they say. So expect the worst, Don't dip buy on day 2 of first green days, even if the company did have legitimacy or credibility, but this one doesn't, and you gotta consider all these variables. Click some links below, start getting educated, stop believing these companies. Don't be a newbie, don't be a Robin Hood, or don't be a sucker. Expect the absolute worst. Actually, leave a comment below this. Say, I will expect the worst. I want you to be cynical. I want you to be safe. I don't want you to be part of the 90% of traders who lose. I want you to be in the group of selective traders who are consistently profitable. By trading scared, by trading very safely, that makes trading not so scary. That's today's lesson. I hope you like it.